And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. We're the Consumer Advocate Show here in Tampa Bay, Florida, and the Gulf Coast region of Florida here. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program, almost 7 years running now. And it's all about helping you, our radio, our TV show listener out there. 4 o'clock drive time, AM 860 The Answer, weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone, daily TV show as well, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other outlets. Of course, you can find us all over social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You'll see us there. Search at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find us there, and the Consumer Quarterback Show pages out there as well. And we got a big event coming up benefiting the Wounded Warriors. It's all about our veterans as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Want to invite you to the Winner's Circle with Ken Shamrock and Tampa's own Antonio Tarver, of course, hosted by Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's going to be at Florida Firearms Academy. Save the date. That's Wednesday, January 8th, 7 p.m. We're going to have food, drinks, beer, and wine, all types of cool stuff happening. DJ Yahoo is going to be spinning, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Register today on eventbrite.com. We got general admission and VIP meet and greet opportunities available to meet UFC Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, WWF wrestling legend, which is now called the WWE, for those that didn't know that. And you also have 5-time world boxing champion Antonio Tarver going to be in the house, as well as he's a co-star with Sylvester Stallone. Doesn't get any bigger than that, right? Rocky Balboa. So check us out. That's going to be January 8th, 7 p.m. Make sure you grab your tickets online at eventbrite.com. All right, this is Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio. Let's make our introductions. Colleen Rodriguez, welcome back.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks so much.
Merry Christmas. It's almost upon us. Very
it's
exciting.
There.
Yeah.
It's almost here. I heard a great one today. What do you call a broke Santa Claus?
What?
Saint Nicholas.
Oh.
Where's the thing? You know, I need the button, right?
Is the whole show going to be like this?
No.
Because I got an appointment.
I don't do jokes. I do consumer advocacy. I do real estate.
Yeah. It'll be all good.
So Fairway Independent Mortgage in the house. We're going to talk about...
Well, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff today. We're going to talk about year end, what you need to be prepared for beginning of the next year, what you need to do if you're a new buyer that closed this year. We touched on it briefly when I was here a few weeks ago. We're going to talk to our AC guy too about
Gregg
some
Bowman's
things.
in the house,
Yeah.
the AC guy of Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
that's right.
About what we need for a mortgage with our AC guy.
So we've got a fellow Fairway Independent Mortgage person here as well. Christine Scott, you want to introduce her for us?
Oh yeah, she's absolutely fabulous, and she
Awesome.
does a lot of our kind of North Pasco area.
Correct.
You
Yeah,
handle
North
a lot?
Pasco, Wesley Chapel, Land O'Lakes, Lutz.
Yeah, she's really
Nice.
been nailing that area down. She's doing
Very
a great
cool.
job up
Thank
there.
you.
So,
Excellent.
Thanks for having me.
My
Yeah.
pleasure. Yeah. Good stuff. So we'll talk about all types of loan products, USDA, you've got VA, FHA, conventional, even some commercial stuff I think we've got sprinkled in there, some stuff that we can help you with.
Mm-hmm.
And also Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. It's great to be back.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming in.
It's a little cooler out there today than usual, but yeah, it's good to be in studio.
That's right. Yes, super nice weather lately. You know, I can finally break out some of the suits. And,
Yeah.
Normally you catch me in I got the polo shirt and sometimes
Right.
shorts out
Yeah,
there.
I was thinking you were pretty snazzed up today.
Oh,
I
thank
thought it was
you.
for the holiday. So I didn't know it was because you were cold.
Yeah. Well, it's the time of year I can actually wear it. The heat, the humidity's down.
A
We talk
sweater.
about
Yeah.
we talk a lot about that with Greg, and
Yeah.
even the advent of invention of AC and how it changed the economy in
Right.
general in Florida specifically.
Yeah, definitely. We wouldn't be the population that is in Florida if it would never have been invented, for sure. So,
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be interesting to touch in just a little bit today about we get a lot of calls this time of year about a funny smell. Typically, it's dust burning off, but there's some other things that can cause some odors with your home comfort system. So touch on that a little bit today, which is
Perfect.
something we haven't done before.
Yeah, this is the time of year, check out the things that you're not really, like the roof. We had Suncoast Roofing on. Great time of year to do that. It's a lot less rain, more easy to access for the the roofing company. AC guy of Tampa Bay is in the house. Those are things that you want to look at. Have those maintenance scheduled, and we'll talk about your VIP program as well.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right. So as you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, and we help our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties. And we got a couple of hot listings here. 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. Now, this property, it's 5 minutes from the airport. It's waterfront. It's 2-story. Beautiful pool, screened in lanai, pavers all throughout the back as well. So you're on a freshwater canal with access to Upper Tampa Bay. And the property is reduced $15,000. We just did a price reduction on 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. It's in that Bayport Town and Country area. A gorgeous listing of ours, and the owner is motivated. And the property has been partially renovated as well. You got beautiful new flooring. It's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. On a freshwater canal with a lake as well. So there's plenty of bass and all types of cool fishing in there. But you can boat to dinner as well from 5822 Schooner Way in Tampa. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. And make sure you bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available there on our website at consumerqb.com. Now, you can also hit us up on the hotline, 813-670-7372. And that's what makes our show different. We're going to ask you to text in, call in. If you have any questions from any of our expert contributors, we want to engage with you, and we've been doing that for a long time. We had an uptick in calls lately, a lot of people calling in. We had a couple of attorneys on the show last week, people calling in saying, hey, yeah, I've got some potential work comp issues. I've got unsafe work environments. I've got a need to speak with your attorneys. I've got a need to speak with your CPAs, your financial advisors, your, all the different spokes on that business wheel that we talk about here. So save our hotline number, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Give us a call, and we're going to make sure we put you in touch with the best in all of Tampa Bay, the expert contributors here in studio. So Colleen Rodriguez in the house, and Fairway Independent Mortgage. What are you seeing out there? What's happening in the market?
It's been a great year. I mean, the rates still are maintaining low. They're still staying low. So everybody's still purchasing. We are still struggling with the same things that you're seeing, not enough inventory on the market. So that's been the challenge. But I did want to remind everybody, especially our new homeowners this past year and everybody closing before the end of this year, please remember to file for your homestead exemption by March 1st, because so many people forget that. Actually, I wrote thank you cards or Christmas cards this past week.
Yeah.
And I was, verifying everybody's address and everything and looking them up. And I saw a couple of my buyers didn't apply for their homestead exemption yet from last year. And, of course, they missed out on it. So I had, wrote them little notes. Please don't forget to apply. You have until March 1st. It's up to $50,000. It's a pretty large, substantial savings for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And not only that, but once you file for the homestead exemption, you have the Save Our Homes cap placed on your home.
That's right.
Which is huge because you might know, I don't know, I think it's 3% is the max that they can gross it up every year, right?
That's right.
Increase it. And that's a big deal.
Big deal, especially even if you're moving. Like, for example, we moved from Tampa
the portability
to Palm Harbor, and then we were locked into like 15 years ago when I bought my previous home. And it's a big deal. And what you led into, with, and Rob, I need to send this to you if you can remind me. But what we've got here is the residential listings in Pinellas County. But look, for example, this is the latest statistics that just came out. Look at the red underlined number, 4894 at the end of November. That's the available inventory in Pinellas County, for example. And look back to January of 2014. What was that number? 7,779. So 4,894 now, 7,000 before. And if you look at what happened here, we've got the absorption rate calculated here for you. So it's a 32.7% absorption rate, 3.06 months of supply. That equals a seller's market. That equals a seller's market.
Yeah. So thankfully, though, I mean, we have seen an increase in prices, but it hasn't been crazy like it was in 04 and 05, way back then. So it's showing more stability. So we're not expecting the big bubble that we had back then.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the appraisers are helping to maintain that a little bit more. I think some of the guidelines that they changed and put into place. The other thing about this time of year is because, to kind of go back to property taxes by your current mortgage company are typically paid out in November for you, so you get the discounted rate, because there's a discount rate in November if the taxes are paid.
Yep.
So now is a good time to think about refinancing, because if you have to create a new escrow account, you don't have to escrow 9, 10, 11, or even 13 months of property taxes in your new loan. So you could possibly get a new loan and not have it to be as much as if you had waited until, like, when you refinance in October or something, you're really getting nailed with the property taxes being re-escrowed into the new account.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cash flow wise. It
Right.
can hurt people.
So this is a good time for you to take a look, call your mortgage lender, give us a call, see if a refinance is a good option for you within this first quarter, where we could get the new escrow account
That's
set up
right.
cheaply.
Yeah, we're talking with Colleen Rodriguez, Fairway Independent Mortgage here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. You hear Diane Vance as well on the show a lot. And there's a lot of reasons why people want to get deals done before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And are we able to still close loans before the end of the year? Or is it kind of at that cusp?
Well, we need 8 business days for the laws, for the
Yep.
TRID disclosures. And
Okay.
I think that we have missed it now.
Yeah, it's a little bit past it, I think,
Yeah.
because I remember Diane mentioning something about the 16th, maybe. Wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the idea is if you're going to close real estate, you close it before the end of the year. There's a lot of reasons why.
So you can claim
1031
exemption.
exchange.
Yep.
Lots of exchanges, lots of investment opportunities, people doing that type of thing. So yeah, and one of the things we like to talk about as well is supporting the local economy here in Tampa Bay.
Right.
And you guys are local. You
Correct.
do a lot in the community.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We've been here. We opened the office 5 years ago. I live in Palm Harbor. I went to Tarpon High. We're as local as we can get.
Nice.
Denise Green, who's my manager, went to Tarpon High about 10 years before I did, but she
Very
doesn't
cool.
like me to tell that part. So
Yeah. Whoops.
we're all pretty local. We service all our agents are all local, and we work with, the local real estate companies like you. You're
Yeah.
a local guy. It's all important. We try to shop local as much as we can. All the little restaurants. We actually had, I'm on part of a little team within our group within Diane, and we went to the little local restaurant for one of the girls. Her customers owned this restaurant, so we went
Cool.
to. You got to support the local places.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing. It was a great find. She kept asking me, like, over and over, did you like it? Did you like it? I'm like, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. So many cool
Yeah.
places, especially, you think about Tampa Bay in general, of course, the big three, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. You sometimes lump Sarasota into that depending on what you're looking at from a national perspective. Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs, Dunedin, Riverview. I mean, there's some gorgeous areas, riverfront properties, lakefront. We had Tarpon Springs mayor on the show, and he had mentioned that Tarpon Springs has the most waterfront per capita of any city, and I think it was either Florida or the United States. I mean, some
it's
really
crazy.
cool stuff
Yeah,
going on here in
yeah.
Tampa Bay.
And Tarpon's really they just had their Christmas parade this past weekend.
Yeah.
And it's really come a long way. It's really, it's a really great little hidden gem, I think, personally. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So get into the real estate game. If you're a renter out there, stay tuned. We're going to do a rent versus own analysis offer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Colleen Rodriguez in the house, Christine Scott, Gregg Bowman coming up as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. When we come back, feel good story of the day. We got a good one here. We got Wild Wild West Justice. It says Cowboys help police chase capture car thief in Las Vegas. Find out about that and more from our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years. Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and changed
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser. We tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we want to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Got a hot listing on Clearwater Beach, 861 Mandalay Avenue. Excuse me, 861 Mandalay Avenue in Clearwater Beach. This is a gorgeous property. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. There's actually a 3rd bedroom in the back. And the owner just reduced the price as well. It's got a really cool patio kind of party area in the middle there. Beautiful upgraded kitchen, huge master suite, and 200 steps from the sugar sand beaches of the Gulf of Mexico, right in Clearwater Beach. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And this segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Taps Restaurant, located at the International Plaza on Bay Street. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, and very friendly staff over at Taps Restaurant, Bar and Lounge. Excellent food. I would highly recommend you to go check them out over at the International Plaza. And I realize it's crowded. You have a lot of options over there, but let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And they got daily happy hours from 2 to 7 over at Taps Restaurant, International Plaza at Bay Street. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And we're back here in studio. Our goal is to help you win. We've got Colleen Rodriguez in the house, Christine Scott, and coming up, we've got Gregg Bowman as well. So Christine, also Fairway Independent Mortgage. You are specializing more in the northern part of Tampa Bay. Is that right?
That's correct. I am very much focused in the Pasco County area. That's where I live, and we opened a Fairway office there for me, and I'm very much trying to be your local lender up there because certain parts of Tampa Bay have much different requirements, much different loans that are offered than you would find in the city or close to the beaches.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm focusing, is trying to be your expert local lender in the North Pasco area, that I can present my clients as many options as possible. And there might be, a loan that can suit them a little bit better than they would find anywhere else.
Yeah.
The USDA loan is a huge product that we have up there. That's a 0% down loan. believe it or not, most of Wesley Chapel and north of Wesley Chapel is all of those properties qualify for this USDA loan. So buyers, especially first-time home buyers who might not have a sufficient down payment, can get into a home for 0% down, which is a great benefit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I just, what's nice about dealing with your local lender is that I just recently had a client that their lender doesn't do a lot of business up there and never even presented the loan.
Wow.
So the original closing cost was supposed to be, and cash out of pocket was supposed to be $12,000, and with that loan, we were able to get her into a house for $3,000.
You talk about a life-changing event,
Right.
I mean, people don't understand the differences between some of these decisions they make. They just say, "Oh, I'm going to go down to BOA, the big bank on the corner, whoever it is, the guys that took the bailout money. I'm going to go down there because I got my checking and my savings, and it's just easier." Well, guess what? You saved $9,000, $12,000 by going the Fairway independent mortgage, and there's a lot of examples in different niches where that can really make a difference.
Absolutely. And we even have the, every county has different down payment assistance options as well. So unless you know your market and where you're selling houses and where your buyers are buying them, you really want to be focusing and dealing with someone that has that local knowledge so they can put them in the right loan program with the right down payment assistance and try and save them as much money.
Absolutely.
We're really here more as an advisor than we are, a bank or a loan pusher. We're here to try and save our clients as much money and put them in the right programs.
And you're able to shop the best rate, the best program. That's the big difference too, is people don't understand that. And as far as Pasco County, the affordability, cheaper taxes, more affordable taxes, I should say. And we talked about Pinellas County in the first segment. So let's go ahead, since we're on the topic of Pasco County, and we are your local real estate economist of choice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Here's the latest stats for Pasco County. This is fresh off the books here, fresh from the MLS, the Mid-Florida Regional MLS. Now, if you look at November, see the double underline word or number there? 2916 is the number. Look back to January of 2014. The number is a third higher or more, 4259. So what does that mean? Low inventory again. What does that mean? You come down here and you look at what actually sold. Now, look at what sold here. So what we've got is a 37.5% absorption rate, and that's 2.6 months of supply equals a strong seller's market. I think that was even more of a seller's market than Pinellas, wasn't it? That's surprising to me. Yeah. That's a little bit surprising. Now, what does all that mean, right? What does the absorption rate mean? What is some months of supply? So months of supply, it's 2.67 months of supply right now in Pasco County. Now, what that means is that if no new inventory came on the market, and we're talking about residential here, single families, townhouses, condos, mobile homes, I guess would be included in that, 2.67 months of supply. So if no new properties came on the market, all of the available inventory at the current rate of buying would sell out in 2.67 months. That is a strong seller's market. It's a great time to be listing your property, a great time to be putting your properties up for sale. And I'll tell you who really wins right now is the move up buyer. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're moving up, if you're selling a property that's 150 to 200,000 and you're saying, "Hey, I got an increase in my job, I got my master's degree, I'm making more money now," whatever that is, if you're able to buy a $400,000 home, you have less competition at $400,000 and $500,000 than you do at the lower price point. So your property is going to get multiple offers on it, and you're going to be able to buy at probably a very good negotiated price point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are all the things that people need to consider when it comes into these types of decisions.
For sure. It's a great market to be buying at up there, as well as selling. And people remember that area, the North Pasco, of being cows and hay bales. And really, it is blowing up out there. They've got, that first lagoon pool that's ever come to the United States. If you've never been, you should check it out.
Yeah.
We've got the ice center up there that Team USA girls, that's their practice ground.
Very cool.
We've got the sports center, the outlet mall. It is really on the map. And I think that's why you're seeing such demand for it, is because it's where people want to be.
54 is just blowing up. Every
really
time I drive on 54, I see, here's a new attorney's building. Here's a new McDonald's.
But that's another thing. They've made it more accessible, too. Parts of Pinellas are more challenging to get to.
True.
Pasco is easily accessible for a lot of people.
That's a good point, Colleen, because I think with the planning of past Pinellas, that was years ago. Now you've got Pasco planning. You got a little bit more intelligent, perspective.
We're learning from the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to come in late to the game.
That's right. Yeah, you can come in, play Monday morning quarterback, right?
Yeah, they have everything.
They should have threw on third down instead of threw the ball. They should have ran the ball on,
right.
They've got all new shops up there and all new everything.
Right, right. Yeah, huge demand up there, and it's an awesome place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a renter out there, let's have you text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to 813-670-7372. Simply text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to 813-670-7372. We're going to give you a rent versus own analysis, let you know all of the money that you're paying to your landlord that you could be building up an equity for yourself by simply texting to our hotline, 813-670-7372. You can get the same thing from consumerqb.com. Just submit the email form there at consumerqb.com. And more from our expert contributors here in studio. When we come back, Fairway Independent Mortgage is in the house. We're going to talk AC guy of Tampa Bay, Gregg Bowman, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got some Wild West justice coming at you. Cowboys that help a police catch a thief in Las Vegas. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook and LinkedIn. We'll see you.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and saved them.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that movie because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We really appreciate you tuning in and, hanging out with us here, talking about things happening in Tampa Bay. And we want to serve you as your consumer advocate. We feel a strong moral obligation to give back. We've had all this knowledge. Just think of the cumulative knowledge that we've got with 50 show partners, 80 categories of consumer advocate advice and content where we want to help you live a better life. We want to help you avoid commission-based advice. And believe me, you see the commission breath out there that I do. You see it all the time, right? So there's a lot of commission breath floating around. There's a lot of people looking to, we talk to our contractors on the show, the roofing companies, there's a lot of things happening out there that we're going to make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's our promise to you, is to make you just a bit more street smart here. And it's up to you to connect with us. 813-670-7372. We got open phone lines there. Anything that you're seeing out there, we would love for you to give us a tip as well. 813-670-7372. Consumer Advocate Hotline, of course, consumerqb.com. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island. It's on Gulf Boulevard, beachfront property here. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to be there for New Year's. It's going to be a great time. I love going down and just checking out the different things happening. They just recently had the Sanding Ovations. I think it might still be going on. Sanding Ovations is so cool. Talking about 10-foot tall sand castles, not just castles. These are artwork. This is works of art from world-renowned artists on the beach at Bilmar Beach Resort. Now, make sure you give Clyde Smith a call. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Book directly online if you're going to book online, but mention the Real Estate Quarterback Show, and you'll get special offers and discounts and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant right there on site, 2 pools, and 90% of the rooms overlook the beautiful Clearwater Beach, or the Treasure Island Beach, that is. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want to help you win in your real estate business as well. Real estate buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Got a vacant parcel of land here at 516 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor. Here's a commercial opportunity for you. If you're a business owner and you're thinking, man, I'm paying a lot of money in rent. I'm adding up these numbers. I'm paying $15,000, $20,000, $50,000 in rent. You got an opportunity to build a commercial right here on Alternate 19, 516 Alt 19 in Palm Harbor. And you've got an opportunity for office, professional use. This is a property that has plans already in place. The impact fees have already been paid. Water and sewer are connected to this property, and it goes by 0 Alt 19 Palm Harbor or 516 Alt 19 Palm Harbor. And that's how they do, with vacant land until there's an address, their official address. But think about that opportunity to buy, build, and you can do a mixed use. So you could actually live on top, have retail on the bottom, run your office out of the bottom, and then have your retail and live up top. So you right there in Palm Harbor, the walkability of Palm Harbor now, there's some cool restaurants, all types of coffee shops right there in that vicinity. Palm Harbor, one of the best kept secrets in all of Tampa Bay, right here in the Tampa Bay market. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com for all of our real estate properties. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. And I want to remind you as well, we have an event coming up that's benefiting our veterans and the Wounded Warriors. Proceeds are going to the Wounded Warriors. So it's the Winner's Circle with Ken Shamrock. He's a UFC Hall of Famer, WWF wrestling legend, which is now known as the WWE. Also, Tampa's own Antonio Tarver, 5-time world boxing champion and co-star of Rocky Balboa with Sylvester Stallone. They're going to be at Florida Firearms Academy. Got a VIP meet and greet opportunity for you. Florida Firearms Academy, January 8th. It's a Wednesday, January 8th, 7 p.m. Register on Eventbrite.com. VIP meet and greet opportunities. Veterans are in free. Our show partners are in free as well. All right, we're back here in studio. We got Gregg Bowman, the AC guy, in studio here now. So we're going to talk about AC, how, keeping your properties cool. And this is a time of year to really start thinking about those summer months that are right around the corner.
Yeah, definitely. We had a little bit of cool weather, so your mind might not be on your air conditioning, but that is not too much longer, and we'll be turning it back on again. Actually, I've had our phones lighting up a little bit with people turning on the heat.
Oh yeah.
It's depending on where you live and your ability to tolerate cold depends on whether you turn that on or not. But we've gotten a few calls, primarily odor calls. People turn on, the heat hasn't been fired in a year, and the first time they turn that on, they get that burning smell. So, we get those calls, people worried about that. But thought I'd just delve into a little bit. What is that,
by the way?
Well, it's basically, there's a number of different things that can cause odor, but the burning smell that you're smelling is dust and dirt buildup on the heating elements. They haven't been energized in in our market, if the heat doesn't get run very frequently, it doesn't keep that clean and burned off. So when that first fires off, it burns that dust. So that's what you're smelling, basically burning dirt. But a lot of people associate that with something burning, and they're afraid there's a fire.
They're nervous.
So I mean, when you do smell that, it is something you want to pay attention to, but it should go away very quickly. When you first smell that, that should go away easily within an hour. If you're still smelling it, then there's something wrong. And you ought to get service after that. But that's the primary cause of that burning smell. We also often get other calls for odors that are more. One that we get called occasionally on is what's called dirty sock syndrome, which is the musty gym sock smell. You can get that coming out of your air conditioner. Get it in the car too. I've had that in my car from time to time, but that's basically a bacteria that gets growing in the unit and causes that smell. There's things that can be done about that. A good cleaning will remove that, but indoor air quality products like the ultraviolet lights will attack that and eliminate that.
Is that something you offer? You add to it?
Definitely, yeah. We have a host of products that can be installed upon your existing system to treat the indoor air quality and treat those kind of symptoms. They even have some products out now that will essentially clean your ductwork.
Wow.
They use what's called photocatalytic oxidation, where they put an oxide into the duct system that will kill anything living in there and clean it out, essentially.
Photocatalytic oxidation.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. So
that's really cool, though.
But it does improve the quality of the air that you're breathing, in the home, and eliminates those kind of odors. Photocatalytic oxidation will actually eliminate cooking odors too, like you're cooking fish and that smell goes everywhere. If you have a PCO air cleaner, a photocatalytic oxidation air cleaner, it'll eliminate that smell very quickly.
Wow.
So there are some neat products and neat things that can be done for those kind of odors in the home.
And can you remind us, I don't know if it's top of mind here for you, but there's a lot of studies that talk about the indoor air quality versus outdoor air quality. And it's kind of, sometimes people say, it's the term of fresh air. Even as polluted as our environment is with industries and things like that, the outdoor air is much more cleaner than our inside air.
Correct. Yeah, the EPA says that indoor air quality is about 5 times more polluted than the air outside.
Wow.
And that is largely because we've built our homes so energy efficient, so tight, that they don't breathe. Now, new codes now are requiring ventilation. There's requirements for that to help bring in outside air and keep that from happening. But our homes are so tight that pollutants build up inside the home and make the air in the homes more dirty than it is outside. So
what's in that? Skin cells?
Yeah, you don't want to get into some of that stuff. It's really kind of gross. Some of the dust mites and the facts about how much fecal matter they produce and how much you would have in your home. It's disgusting.
We get Connor Keller going. We get Connor Keller going on. Insect IQ on the guano from the bats. And stuff. That guy's knowledgeable about that. So we're talking with Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, and that's a big part of it. I think, as well as with our show, we have Fred DeFelice, waterscience.us, talks about all the pharmaceutical drugs in the waters, the microplastics in the waters, and he's got his system. But you've got something that you can do for the air system, the air quality. I'd like to get some pricing personally. I want to know, what's pricing on that. We can talk after the show on it, but what's a high low on something like that? I mean, because again, how do you put a price on your health, right?
Right. Yeah. It's a very wide range depending on what you want to treat and how in depth you want to get into it. But on a budget side, for a few $100, you can put a basic UV system in to treat the basic symptoms.
Wow.
If you want to get real sophisticated and go all out, you can spend a few thousand doing that. But just for a few $100, you can do some basic management of the air quality in your home.
I like that idea. A few $100 well spent, in my opinion. You're basically putting ultraviolet rays that's killing the microparticles.
Correct.
Neutralizing.
There's basically what we call three danger areas in indoor air quality. You've got your particulates, which would be dust and dander and pollen. You've got your VOCs, which are chemicals in the air, And then you've got the bio stuff, the molds, the mildews, the living stuff that is causing issues. So there are products to treat all of those. So the best solution is to evaluate what the issues may be in the home and then recommend products to treat them. But if you want to go all out and treat all of them, there are products that will treat all of them. But a basic UV system will tackle the bioaerosols, the molds, the mildews. Some of the higher end ones will also attack particulates as well as the VOCs.
I like that.
So,
is that going to be more effective too than the things you find at Walmart or whatever, the little units that you throw in the room?
Yeah, they're a whole house solution, so they're treating everything in the home. The room air cleaners that you can buy will treat a smaller area. You can treat a bedroom or a kitchen, but or a living room or wherever that appliance is located. But a whole house approach is a better overall way because you're not going to spend all of your time in that one room.
Yeah. And I bought those things in the past, and a couple years down the road, they're all clogged up. You can't use them anymore. You can't clean them anymore. So we're talking with Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay, longtime friend of the program here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now let's do an offer here. I like to tee up offers from time to time for our listeners out there, viewers of our TV show. Let's talk about your VIP program and maybe a call to action here.
Yeah, our VIP program, I'm kind of glad you brought that up. We were just putting kind of some a la carte pricing to that, to kind of breaking down the services that we include and what those values were if you purchased each one of those services independently. And the total value on that's over $900, but we do that for $14 a month. It's basically a preventative maintenance program, a regimen, where we remember to come out every 6 months. We'll call you, set that up, come out, do your maintenance, clean your coils, clean your drain, go through your system, evaluate your duct system, evaluate your indoor air quality, make sure everything's tip-top shape and working to the best of its ability. And then there are a lot of other benefits with that. You're already paying $14 a month. If you're not getting maintenance, just you're paying it to the power company in higher operating costs.
Yes.
We'll save you at least that much money by keeping your equipment in tip-top shape, just in lower operating costs. So
Love it.
You're already paying it anyway. Just all we're looking for you to do is transfer from paying it to Duke or Tico and paying it to the AC guy.
Yeah, AC guy of Tampa Bay. That's right. VIP program. Text AC HVAC or VIP to 813-670-7372. Text AC to our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. Take control of your air conditioning unit. The money that you spend, it's preventative maintenance. It's going to be a system as well. And then there's also those emergency calls, right, Craig?
Yeah, well, you definitely your air conditioner doesn't know what time of day it is, and when it decides to break, well, maybe it does, because it always seems to break on the worst possible time.
Yeah.
July 4th, you got the house full of people, and it's a holiday.
Yeah.
But when you're on our VIP program, it doesn't matter day or night. No, it doesn't matter holiday, weekend, whatever. It's the same rate, a discounted rate of $59 for us to come out in an emergency situation, whereas most times that would be, well over $100.
Absolutely. AC guy of Tampa Bay, longtime friend of the program, great team, great group of folks to work with out there, and we have that service on our home, and it's like setting it and forgetting it, man. You have your AC is gonna be working right.
Yeah, that's the point of it. Is that's the problem. That's why maintenance doesn't happen, because it's one of those things that you don't see your air conditioner on a regular basis. As long as it's working, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
We basically want to think about it for you so you don't have to.
Absolutely. And we had a property last month or so that had an inspection, and the AC ducts were all messed up. There was some water up there. There was some issues. It caused the deal from closing. Had to re-inspect later, get another contract. So there's things that can happen. So this preventative type maintenance is worth its weight in gold. Talking about $14 a month. We always pick on Starbucks, right? That's two Starbucks. Stop. 2 Starbucks. Get the VIP program. Right. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio, and our feel-good story coming up next. Wild Wild West justice. Cowboys help police catch car thief in Las Vegas. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it. I skipped about Florida.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves, kind of our prequel to our business we launched with Ken Shamrock called the BGCA, the Business Growth Celebrity Academy, where we teach you how to grow your celebrity, how to grow your sphere of influence by utilizing the radio and TV show model that we've perfected here in the Tampa Bay market. So bgca.co is that site if you'd like to check that out. bgca.co. And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions. Say hello to Steve and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the program. Now, what they offer is these vitamin IV drips that goes directly into your bloodstream. They've got the traditional, you hear about the Myers cocktail is one that you probably heard of. They've got Revitalize. There's one called Weekend in Vegas. I think we've all kind of been on that one. So Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. They've got an office on Gandy Boulevard in South Tampa, and they're also on Del Mabry North, just north of Bears, up in the North Tampa area. Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. All right, we got an all-star lineup in here today. We've got Colleen Rodriguez, Fairway Independent Mortgage, Christine Scott as well from Fairway Independent Mortgage as well, and Gregg Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. And every day we promise to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day. All right, so we got a group of cowboys that helped police catch a car thief who crashed into a horse trailer in Las Vegas. So, quote, this man running from the cops thought it would be a good idea to run through a bunch of cowboys, said Colton Payne. He wrote that on his Facebook page, and I was right there to video it. Las Vegas Metro Police Department spotted a car that was reportedly stolen and tried to stop it. One of the people in the stolen car jumped a fence at the park and began running across the fairgrounds. That's when the cowboys got involved. By the time I kind of had my rope up and the suspect had his hands up right when I was thinking about roping him, said Cox. So a cowboy and a professional cattle roper. The best part of the whole deal was one of the police helicopter flew over us. He said, "Good job, ropers." Oh, that just made our day, said Cox. So pretty cool. If you're watching our TV show version, you see the ropers there. Roping the bulls or the horns on the steer, and then they got the cowboy there on camera. So pretty cool. And a Flamingo and Boulder Highway, cowboys helped take down suspected thief. And it's one of those things a lot of people don't realize. I went through what I call the Garth Brooks stage. I did rodeo back in the day. I did high school rodeo, so I could rope them right there. I would have had my rope out. I would have had them. And that's just kidding. But I did bull ride. I can't even believe.
Really?
I did bull riding. I did team roping, and I did the bucking horses.
Your own urban cowboy.
That's right. Yeah, I went through the Garth Brooks stage, back in the day. Girlfriend at the time was a barrel racer, so that probably had a little influence on it.
Yeah.
And the Saturday night dances, those were fun. They'll get out there and boot scoot and boogie. So yeah, went through that stage, but I kind of got to a point where I said, hey, I got to focus on what I want to do here. I'm not going to be a professional bull rider or anything. I mean, the guys that do that, and especially with the horses, the horse, if there's a barrel racer, a lot of it's attributed to the horse. And if the same thing with roping, I mean, they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on these animals that are trained properly, and that's a whole nother business in itself. But a lot of money in that. So pretty cool story. They got roped. He didn't wake up thinking he was going to get roped that day, did he? So awesome stuff. All right, so this time for our lightning round here. Now, what we're going to do in our lightning round is we're going to go around and we're going to get top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom from all of our expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning.
All right, here we go. Colleen Rodriguez, ladies first, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Well, I want to kind of bring Gregg in on this because a lot of people don't know, and you probably know, you touched on it a little bit. You just had a deal fall through. You know, homes that are 30 years plus or older need a 4-point home inspection, and it's not unusual for them to see them fail because of the AC.
That's right.
Now, most insurance providers only require that you have heat because we're above the frost line here. So that smell that they smell, it's very important that you go out and you check it every 6 months. You go out.
Yeah, most manufacturers recommend at least once a year, but we do recommend every 6 months just to make sure we're catching everything.
And that's, a lot of people don't think that. So your sellers, they need to be made aware, and of course the current homeowners to keep that unit available, because that's one of the most expensive things besides the roof that you're going to replace in your home.
Yeah.
If you ever need to. So you want to make sure that you take care of that.
Yeah. It surprises me how many times we go out on a real estate deal that's trying to be closed and the home inspection has identified AC problems, and they are major issues that really could have been caught long ago with just a little bit of care.
So in order to help you sell your home, you need to make sure that you're on top of that.
Yes, absolutely. I like that.
Yep.
What you got for us, Christine?
I'm going to stay on the same topic here on the AC and the heat. A lot of people don't know, but with certain loan programs such as FHA or VA, these are government-funded programs. The VA has 0% down, FHA has 3.5% down, very low down payment, so they're very popular loans. But they do require that the heat works to a minimum of 50 degrees, which in the state of Florida, I would think that the requirement is also that the AC works. But in this case, it is not. But it is a requirement for the appraisal and for the mortgage to close that we test the heat here in Florida and make sure that it does.
Check it.
And they will check it. And you got to make sure your house can stay at least 50 degrees or warmer. So.
It's weird to think about that, right? Florida, these are universal. Gregg Bowman.
Yeah, that does really surprise me. But we see that, too, that it's not required to have air conditioning, but that you got to at least have heat. It just really makes no sense in the state of Florida.
Backwards.
It is. But no, I would just emphasize again the importance of maintenance. There's nothing more. I mean, the air conditioning is probably one of the largest investments in your home. The roof may beat it out. But as far as replacing your air conditioning, it's one of the biggest investments you have to make. So it amazes me how many times we'll go in and people just aren't maintaining that system.
Yeah.
And there's so many problems you can avoid by just getting on a program like our VIP and catching things before they become thousands of dollars in repairs.
Absolutely.
You catch it early. A lot of times it can be fixed for a relatively low amount of money before it turns into something serious. So
right.
just getting on a program like that is important.
Yeah, check out consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And check out our YouTube page as well. We got a Facebook page, rather. We've got Warwick Dunn. We got a video from the American Dream television show. And this time of year, it's more important than ever to think about giving and think about what Warwick Dunn's done. 174 homes to date that he's helped single parents gain home ownership through Habitat for Humanity. So, kind of want to end the show on that note. Think about a time where you can go out and give and do something kind for one another. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.